So have you ever wondered why sometimes when you order a wig by Envy, for instance, you'll see that it's amaretto and cream and then amaretto and cream -B? Or when you order maybe an Estetica wig, instead of seeing caramel kiss, when you order your wig, it comes back caramel kiss M. These are really minor distinctions, and I'd like to go ahead and kind of call attention to them. Like for instance, in the case of the amaretto and cream and the amaretto and cream B, can you tell which is which? This one has the B, this one does not. And you could tell that the main difference here is that the one with the B has a little bit less highlighting. It's because it's a shorter style. So that's more or less what that represents, is that on the shorter wigs, they do the highlighting in a more deliberate fashion, so that way it really plays up the layering of the wigs. Whereas in a slightly longer style, like the Chloe here, they just kind of let them roll. They put more of that highlighting in to play up the texture and length of these layers. So it really doesn't make that big of a difference. So the main difference is really, and the reason why we don't differentiate this on the site is like this wig's short, this one's long. You know that when you're ordering it, there does not really need to be extra attention called to it. So just kind of recognize that on the shorter styles, they're going to place the highlights in a way that is the most flattering for that kind of layering and style, and vice versa. With the Caramel Kiss and the Caramel Kiss M from Estetica, or anytime you see that M there, really all that means is that the inside of the cap is a different color. They tend to do this again on shorter styles. So, you know, again, this really has more to do with the length of the cut. You know, like they're going to plan the interior of the cap color to best suit that style. On our website, we do tell you when it's going to be the M. Just know that that means that it's a modified interior of the cap feature, and all that that's indicating is that on those particular styles with the M, the cap's going to be a slightly different color. But it's again not something you're going to notice from the outside. Your friends and family will never notice. It's a really minor difference. So you might see that with Ellen Wille colors, you get an English name, in this case it's caramel rooted, and you'll also get like a little numerical code. When you are a very small fish in a very large pond, it can be very difficult to get things to sort of go your way in business. And so with Ellen Wille, they're a very small sort of specialty brand, more or less. And so because they're not running really super high volume like some of the other online players, not that they're not trying, but you know, they're still kind of a niche thing. Because of that, you know, they have a lot more variation when it comes to their colors, dependent on the lot number, depending on the phases of the moon, depending on, I don't know, bad karma. Like, I don't know. They change their color code sort of arbitrarily. Some of you may have noticed this already. I think it's particularly noticeable on the sandier blonde mixes because the various colors that can go into those mixes can often vary greatly in between various styles, all in the exact same English color name. There is no way of really detecting this. So my best advice to anybody who is concerned about this is a brand you should flirt with if you are cool with this you know, small range of experimentation, because they don't even tell us in advance when they're doing this. It just kind of happens. And you know, that's less than ideal for everyone involved, but honestly, if your expectation is that it's going to have a little bit of variation, I think Taz has pointed this out with, you know, the champagne rooted. Great example. So they kind of keep it around the same color, but it may not always be exact. And, you know, you can always exchange it for something else in our store. We you know, offer free exchanges. All you have to do is pay for the return shipping. So that's really all we can do. But just know about it so that way you can make the best informed decision for your purposes. And just know that we know that this is an issue too. So if you ever have to exchange an Ellen Wille wig for color, just make sure you do it right away. Don't play with the wig, don't wear it a whole bunch. If you know that the color is not gonna work, send it right back and you won't have any problems, okay? So there's a little PSA. So thank you for watching, everybody, and have a great night. Bye-bye.